Holy cow, September flew by and now it's already October 9th. We're almost to the midway point of October. I can't even handle how quickly time is going. It's ridiculous. September was a pretty good month reading-wise for me. I've been blogging a little bit here and there. I'm just kind of doing it leisurely, and I want to do the videos leisurely. I just want it to be an experience that I can connect with others and I can look back on and, you know, that kind of stuff. So this month I had a goal of trying out like actually editing a video, and there's a learning curve for me. I'm not like technologically impaired or anything. I use technology every day, but I don't know. There's definitely a learning curve, and I'm working on it, and I promise these videos will start to show improvement at some point in the next like 2 years maybe. Be patient. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. So I read a few books. The one thing I'm really excited about, I've been trying to make my way through the Alice series since about 2011, I want to say. I had read a few before. Like while I was growing up, I picked up as many Alice books as I could, all the way from 3rd grade to, you know, now I'm 25. So, but starting in 2011, I started with the prequels, and I'm going through, and this last year, Phyllis Reynolds Naylor finished that series. So I read about, I think, 5 books from the series this month. I read the 15th book, Patiently Alice, where Alice is a camp counselor. And that one was, I rated it 4 out of 5 stars in Goodreads. It's just, I don't know. It wasn't a fantastic book. None of the Alice books are absolutely fantastic, but I love that they deal with issues that teenagers and kids might come across at some point in their lives, and I love that you can grow up with this character. I think that that's really an awesome thing and a pretty unique thing. I don't know of many series where you actually can tell that you're growing up with a character. So, yeah. So the 15th book, Patiently Alice. I also read the 16th book, Including Alice. That's the book where Alice's father, Ben, finally marries Sylvia, her 7th grade English teacher. Alice is no longer in 7th grade by the 16th book, but it's a pretty important event that lots of the books have been building up to, so that was an exciting book for me. Again, I rated that 4 out of 5 just because I like those books. I read the 17th book, Alice on Her Way. Alice is learning how to drive and getting her driver's license and going to New York, and you know, one of her friends learns a kind of a hard lesson about relationships and giving away too much too soon. So it was hard. I read the 18th book, Alice in the Know. That one, it's another summer. Alice gets her first job out in the real world where her dad is not her boss, and she learns some important lessons, and some things change and happen in her friends' lives, and that one I rated a 3 out of 5 just because I didn't feel like it really covered a lot of ground, but then again, I mean, sometimes your life doesn't cover a lot of ground, so I don't know. It just wasn't my favorite one. And the last Alice book I read in September was the 19th book. It's Dangerously Alice. That one was surprisingly risque. This is the first book that I had not read before, and that one was Alice got a little, you know, close with someone else. So that one is, I definitely will let my daughter read it when she's Alice's age. My goal is to have her be interested in them and read them along with Alice, and maybe trick her and make her think that they're coming out as she's getting older, just because some of them, I don't want her to get any ideas, although I'm thinking back on my life, I'm sure she can come up with those ideas on her own. So anyway, beside the point. Another book that I finished this month is the 2nd book in If I Stay, Where She Went by Gail Forman. I didn't love that book. I don't really love that duology all that much either. I don't know. It was okay, but I read Just One Day first, and that was so good. I still have to read Just One Year, but yeah. It's a hard duology to live up to, even though If I Stay came first, technically. The last book I read in September, I ended up turning it into a DNF, did not finish. It was the We Were Liars book by E. Lockhart. That book had a lot of buzz, and I think the thing was it was just so secretive, and no one really knew what it was about, and it was a snooze fest, to be completely honest. I was very, very bored with that book, and I ended up reading a spoiler, and after I put it down, not before, but I mean, who didn't see that kind of coming? I mean, if you've watched any movies or read any books, there were some pretty obvious clues. Just saying. So that's what I read in September. I'm feeling pretty good about that. So far in October, I've read a lot of baby books. Just like in September, I read a lot of baby books then. And I am in the middle of 3 different books, one for school, so that's not super exciting, but kind of exciting. And yeah, that's it. I'll see you when November comes, or whenever I feel like kind of looking like a person and sitting in front of a camera and talking to you. So whichever comes first, who knows. Alright, see you later. What did you read, by the way? Tell me.